Alright, hey guys, Catlip here, and I'm bringing you another one of my banner review guides for the Halloween exclusive, global exclusive units. And I have to say, I am very disappointed with at least the way they look, and a little spoiler here, with actually the way they perform also. So, without further ado, here's my banner review, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so the first unit we're going to review here is Safety Cone Head Finna, or as the game mistakenly named her, White Witch Finna. She's coming in at a 4-star base going up to 6 stars, so she has our first 6-star healer support, while also being our first 4-star going to 6-star unit. The stats on Finna are 2,875 HP, MP at 248, attack 110, defense 110, magic 134, and spirit 204, this being the highest spirit stat we've had on a healer yet, mostly I think due to her being a, a 6-star unit. She can equip staffs, bows, maces, hats, cloths, robes, and accessories. So just the standard support healer equipment there. Her TM comes in with blessed bow, attack plus 80, spirit plus 40, bird killer, and man killer. And similar to the bow we got from Rosa, this has a high attack stat, but this one has killer abilities on it, making it I think way much better than the killer bow was that you got from fighting in the Vortex. The notable abilities for Safety Cone Finna are Raise. Revive one KO'd ally. That's really good. If somebody goes down, you're going to be able to raise them up. She does retain her cheer ability, raising attack and defense by 40% for 3 turns. And then she has this cool, special ability here in Ritual. Heal HP 30% and MP 10% of all allies, and it's excluding Finna there, so she doesn't heal herself or give herself MP. And here's a problem I have with the character. And this is where the character becomes shit when you start reading this, in my opinion. She doesn't get Kuraja. Okay, she doesn't have Asuna. She has Cura and Kuraga, and then she has Ritual. Okay, guys, she also has Prey, but it doesn't heal enough to be a big factor in my opinion. So, she's going to heal your party for 30% of their HP, which is just, I think it's off of base HP, or perhaps maybe how much HP they have. We'll have to test it out. And 10% of their MP, even if it is what they have, 30% is nothing compared to what Kuraja can do. And she's not even healing herself, so at this point it's just like, what were they thinking when they built this character? It seems weird. I mean, it's cool. Ritual sounds like a cool effect, where she's kind of healing the team, but she can't really heal herself. I guess because she's a witch. I don't know. Then she has her Limit Break in Heaven's Judgment. It's going to do light magic to all enemies. That's just how Limit Breaks go. Some of them do damage. Some of them actually buff up the team. I would rate this one pretty not good, pretty mediocre, due to the fact that it's just doing damage. Most other healer or support buffs or limit breaks are going to buff your team in some way and heal them, whereas this one's not. So overall, I think Safety Cone Head Finna just isn't cutting it. I would still think I would put Rosa and Lena ahead of her. The only parts where you would want to have White Witch Finna would be because of her spirit, I would think. Maybe the raise, obviously the raise too. But is raise really worth it that much? I mean, you can throw Tello on your team and there's a raise for you, or sometimes you don't even need raise. I mean, another thing you could say is maybe you guys have a 6-star Cecil on your team and he could take over Kuraja for you. But I mean, looking at this unit alone, why did they make a support unit that is a 6-star unit without Kuraja? I don't know. I'm still going to rate Rosa and Lena above her as far as my rankings are concerned with healers. And then, even if you want to rank them above her, you don't want to rank her above them as a 6-star healer. As soon as they start putting out other 6-star healers, you're going to forget this unit even exists, besides the awesome Safety Cone meme that Reddit and all of us came up with. So that's it for her. Just a huge disappointment, to be honest. Demon Rain, look at those horns, baby. He's coming in at a 5-star base, meaning you're gonna have to pull a rainbow, so he's just as rare as Lightning, Ramza, DKC, all those other 5-star base, going up to a 6-star. I think this guy's more of a jack of all trades, trying to be a physical damage dealer, a little bit of support, a little bit of tankage, and not doing any of it well. But let's talk about his stats. He has a hefty 4,052 HP, which is pretty damn good. His MP's at 146. Pretty good there. Attack 156, defense 116, which is the bad part about him. He doesn't really have much defense. Magic 128 and spirit 110. The equipment you can have when you're Demon Rain are swords, hammers, great swords, and maces. He can equip helms, light shields, heavy armor, light armor, and accessories. Moving on to his TM, it's kind of an interesting one, an Infernal Armlet. Attack 20%, defense 20%, Fire and Earth resist up by 20%. Now, comparing this to something like Gafgarian's TM that gives you the base attack stat, you know, double hand, just as this character will have double hand, as I'll say in a little bit. Double hand doesn't work with this. It's better than your hero ring, but the Gafgarian TM also has HP on it, which I think HP is always better than defense. I mean, you don't want your defense to fall too far behind, but I'd always like HP better. And just overall, I think the 30 attack is much more than the attack 20% on most units. So if you're armlet, if you're fighting a fire or an earth person, maybe you want to throw that on there. Earth damage boss or something like that, you want to throw that on there. So I'm not saying it's a bad TM. I would definitely grind for it for sure, but there are better ones out there is all I'm trying to say. Moving on to his notable abilities, like I was talking about earlier, double hand increases equipped attack by 50% when you're single wielding. So essentially this means that you're pretty much gripping your sword really tight and you're coming in swinging really hard, and what this does is anything that gives you attack on your equipment, it's going to double it. Okay, so that's why the Infernal Armlet, his TM is kind of weird, because that's a 20% stat increase, and that's not going to double. Only base stats are increased. So maybe if like something gives you, like, let's say Gafgarian's TM gives you 30 attack, it's actually going to give you 60 attack. I think I'm right on that 30 attack thing. If not, you know, whatever. It gives you a certain amount of attack. It's going to double that. So it's a pretty useful thing. One of the things we also need to figure out is Barch's TM is double hand. And you know how killer abilities do stack if you have them from different sources. For example, let's say a weapon gives you Undead Killer, and then the unit has Undead Killer on it, they will stack on each other. So what we need to figure out on Global is if double hand, if the character has double hand, and then you equip double hand to him, is that stacking up and giving you 100% more? So essentially giving you a lot more of the attack stat there. And it's I did say something wrong just earlier. I said it gave you pretty much, I said it gave you 30%. If it gave you a 30 attack, it gave you 60 attack. It's wrong. It only gives you 50% up, so it'd be a 45 attack instead of the 60 attack. I don't know why I thought I said 100, but anyway, moving on to his other abilities, we have Ignite, which increases your attack and magic by 40% for 3 turns. And you know, it's not bad. You know, it's similar to a you know, it's different from Focus and the Cheer, as it does attack and magic, both the offensive stats, whereas the other two would buff an offensive stat and a defensive stat. So this may be able to be useful to you. However, you probably have that covered with Cheer and Focus already, so I don't know. They're all at 40%. Another ability he has is Cerebus Guard. He has a chance to protect your party member by 40%, so he's going to hop in front of them just like Cecil had that ability. That's going to be a reoccurring thing for our tanks. And he has damage mitigation at 25%. This thing cannot touch Cecil's ability at all. It's not as good, not even close. One thing I also need to mention, which I didn't put on here, is that Demon Rain does have a counter chance of 75%. So after you add up all his stuff, he can counter at 75% rate. So if he gets hit, he's going to have 75% to bop the enemy back. His limit break is Shining Nova, fire physical damage to all enemies. Just another limit break that does damage. It does do fire damage, so maybe if there's something that you need to do fire elemental damage to, he's going to be able to do that. He does have some magic, but nothing to shake a fist at, really. Obviously, this is an attack, damage, and a tank unit, so his magic's there, but it's not going to be that useful. Overall, I think this character's kind of not very good for a 5-star base. He's going to be taken over by a lot. I even think his future actual normal reign 6-star is going to be better than this version. And we already had Cecil, and that just takes over for this guy. I mean, I know this guy is trying to do damage too, but you don't really need that in a tank. You know, you're looking for a tank, and you already have physical damage dealers that do very well in that. You don't need somebody who's trying to juggle all both of them. So that's Demon Rain for you guys. Again, I apologize about messing up the double hand. That is 50%, not a 100% increase. I want to suck your blood. Yeah. Dracula, get it? Comes in at a 5-star base, hitting us with another 5-star base unit here, so meaning you have to get a rainbow. Going up to 6-star, his actually sprite doesn't look that bad to me. I think it's actually one of the better looking ones. His stats include HP 3,354, MP 145, attack 195. Now this is an attack that's more than lightning, less than DKC, so his attack's pretty up there, guys. Defense 124, magic 130, and spirit 108. The equipment for I want to say Draco Malfoy. Draco Laswell, is he can equip a sword, a katana, a great sword, helm, a light shield, hat, heavy armor, light armor, cloth, and an accessory. So those are he can kind of equip a lot of stuff. It's pretty cool. But but it's not Draco Malfoy, it's Draco Laswell. Now let's move on to Draco Laswell's TM in Vampire Cloak. Defense plus 20, magic plus 30, spirit plus 30, and it gives you the ability evade, which just allows you to have a chance to avoid attacks, things like that. Now, we're not sure, but I'm pretty sure this is a chest piece. It is an armor and not an accessory. Now, if this turns out to be an accessory, like, you know, because it's a cape, you just put it on. If it's an accessory, this thing's going to be insane. Just by being a cloak, though, you know, he's really hard to get at 5-star if it is an armor. And we already had Alma, who has just a better magic robe to begin with, and Alma came in. Everybody got an Alma. You got an Alma, you got an Alma, you got an Alma. We all got Almas. So this cloak, if it is a chest piece like I think it is, kind of mediocre. Not really looking much into it, really. You don't really want to get it. Moving on to his notable abilities is Bat Form, which I think is pretty sweet. He has a good little fluff here. Bat Form decreases the chance of being targeted by 65%. So he's gonna, like, you know, like if you would try to hit a vampire, he turns into a bat and fly away. That's pretty much what Laswell's Bat Form is. Another cool ability he has is Nightmare Assault. He does physical damage, and when he does this, he's going to debuff the target, minus attack and defense by 40%, and ice resist by 40% for 3 turns to 1 enemy. So this is pretty sweet. Depends on how much physical damage it actually does, but taking down their attack and defense by 40% is okay. It's pretty high up there. You know, full break is going to hit him for about that hard anyway, and the ice resist is pretty good. So, like, if you hit a boss and it takes down their ice resist by 40%, you know, you're going to be able to Blizzaga chain like you guys have learned how to do, so that seems pretty sweet. Hallowed Song, another cool ability he has. Dark physical damage with Undead Killer applied to that dark physical damage to all enemies. So when he uses this, that dark physical damage will be amplified by 50% because of Undead Killer to undead targets. So pretty cool, pretty awesome ability there too. His limit break is Azure Sky, ice physical damage to all enemies. Just another ability, another limit break that does damage. Nothing really special there. Overall, I think Draco Laswell is pretty cool. I think his whole lore, his whole fluff, his whole build is awesome. Everything about him looks, you know, Dracula-like. He has a lot of cool abilities. As far as how good is he going to be, you know, I'm not really sure. I think he'll be pretty strong. I think if you don't have a strong physical damage dealer, he's going to be up there. I think that he is, you know, he is going to be surpassed. That's the thing about these units, guys, is that they aren't that good. None of them. None of them are as good as we thought they were going to be for being 6-star units. They're going to be surpassed in the future, and we're just going to have to deal with it, honestly. You know, Draco Laswell does get some spells. He also gets Finger Snap, which he had, you know, in his normal Laswell form, which is a Dispel, so that can help you if you don't have a Dispel on your team. But overall, I don't know. I'd be happy if I got him over a Demon Rain, but he's nothing like pulling a Lightning, a Dark Knight Cecil, you know, a Ramsey, anything like that, at least in my opinion. Alright, so last but not least, Black Cat Lid coming in here, and I know in my last video about my first impressions, I said you're not even going to worry about Black Cat Lid, right? How wrong was I? This is looking like, you know, as far as, she's coming in at 3-star, going up to 5-star, and she looks like the all-star, obviously, I mean, honestly, not obviously, but honestly, of the whole damn banner, because she's going to be the most achievable, most easily reachable unit, and she doesn't seem that bad at all, guys. She's coming in with HP 2,767, MP 127, Attack 120. Now, yes, that's lower than COD, you know, your COD, your Chizurus of the world, but that's alright. Defense 90, Magic 93, and Spirit 93, and keep in mind, these are 5-star stats. I know we were talking about bigger stats earlier with those 6-star units, but she only goes up to 5-star. She can equip a lot of stuff, which is really weird. She can equip rods, staffs, bows, maces, hammers, axes, and guns, but no, like, swords or, you know, like monk weapons, which I would think she would, but I guess she's kind of an engineer, so that's a little different there. She can equip hats, cloth, light armor, and accessories too. But yeah, those weapons kind of throw me off. Talking about her TM, it's the Cat Hat. Defense 15, Magic 20, Spirit 20, MP 25, and you're going to resist that silence. So this will be good on your, you know, your second mage, maybe your support, things like that. But in this event, we're going to get this thing. It's a mask that we'll get in this event that's going to give us Magic 30. And baby, that's what you're going to want to put on your main mage. So Cat Hat, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be farming for it. The silence resistance is pretty cool, but there are other things you can use to get rid of the silent and resist stuff like that, like the ribbon from Kefka's TM stuff, you know, for that. Another useful ability she has is Focus. Focus comes in and gives your attack and, excuse me, not your attack. Woo! What's going on with me today? Magic and Spirit up by 30% for 3 turns to all allies, so she gets that, which is pretty awesome. She has Hex Strike. This is a pretty cool ability. It's going to do physical damage, and then it's randomly going to apply 3 status elements, okay? So it has 30% chance to apply Poison, Blind, Sleep, Silence, Paralyze, Confuse, and Disease. So, 30% for all those, and then a 90% chance to do Petrify. So it seems like Petrify is going to be picked most of the time, and then it's going to choose 2 of the other, if I'm understanding this right. And that's all to one person. Then another great ability she has, a cool one, is called Invention, which is her, like, I guess, working on something like that. It randomly will do one of these things, which is similar to Tella's Recall. It'll do 20% chance to do Power Generator, and what Power Generator does is an AoE one-hit fire physical damage ability, okay? And then it has a 25% to do Laser Cannon, which is an AoE one-hit thunder physical damage ability. Then it has a 25% chance to do Blast Shot, which is coming at you with an AoE one-hit physical damage, so no elemental blast shot. And then it has 30% to just fail and do absolutely nothing. So I don't think you'll ever use this ability, but it's I think it's a cute little cool ability they came up with. Moving on to some more, because Black Cat Lid actually has a lot of abilities on her that I thought were interesting. We have Undead Killer and Machine Killer. So against undead and machine or machine enemies, you're going to be able to do 50% more damage to them, physical damage, and that pretty much is what Black Cat Lid does. And now this is a big ability for her that could be doing a lot of damage to opponents, like Crushing Blow does for lightning. Ultimate Blow. It's going to do physical damage, and it's going to ignore defense by 35% when you do this. And it actually has a huge, from my understanding, it has a pretty big physical multiplier on it. That's how abilities are, you calculate their damage. They have multipliers, coming off your attack or your magic, things like that. I think this does have a pretty big one. So Ultimate Blow could be a pretty great thing to be using with Black Cat Lid, and I think that's what makes her pretty good. So, yeah, Ultimate Blow is making Black Cat Lid good, and I think all you free-to-play players out there, she's going to be a great addition to your team, I think. Now, we're going to have to test Ultimate Blow, but that's the theory behind it. Her limit break is Mechanical Parade, physical damage to all enemies, so, nothing too crazy there, like the other limit breaks of all the other 3 Halloween units. This is being the 4th one. But overall, Black Cat Lid was very surprising, and the best sprite of all of them, too, in my opinion. If you look up there, I think in my opinion, she's the best one. Then it comes to Dracula as well, and Demon Rain, and then finally Safety Cone Lena. So overall, I think she's okay for a 3-star going to a 5-star. I don't think you'll be too upset if you pull her, and I think a lot of you guys, if you do pull her, are going to get her. So try her out. There's no reason not to. She's a fun character, has some fun little quirky things about her, and I actually like Black Cat Lid. So, welcome back, guys. So, overall, no, this banner sucks. Do not pull on it, and that's just my opinion. I myself may do a couple daily pulls on it just for fun, because it is supposed to be a Halloween event. Here's another spooky, terrifying thing about this banner, because it's so bad. It's here for 2 weeks. So, I'm like, what the hell, Gumi? You don't give us Lightning for 2 weeks, you don't give us Ramza, Dark Knight Cecil, Dolita, but you're gonna give us this shitty, bad, stupid Halloween banner for that long? Like, come on, dude, come on. And on top of that, this might be the worst banner we've ever had. A lot of you guys are going to argue that the Final Fantasy IX banner was bad, but at least on that banner, you could get Zidane, even if his chances were nothing. On this banner, you get nothing. I repeat, you get nothing, but really shitty looking sprite, people. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe you guys love it. Maybe you guys love these characters. You want to try them out. Black Cat Lid isn't that bad, but that's my whole thing. Do not pull on this banner. Save up some money. Save up some tickets, some Lapis. You got 2 weeks, and maybe we'll be hit with the Lilith banner next, which will replace all of your healers, definitely at 5-star, probably getting it at 6-star, she for sure will. Anyway, let's get into that later. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up if it helped you out. Comment down below with your opinions on these units. If I said anything wrong, I know I messed up a couple times. I think I said focus was 30%, it's 40%, and then I also think that I messed up the whole double hand thing because it's only 50%, not double. I think what happened was I kept saying double and hearing it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to say double. It doubles everything. Nah, it's only 50%. And subscribe for future things, content, and guides in the future. I am going to be doing my event guide. Hopefully have it out tomorrow, but who knows. These guides actually take me a long time to get out with all the work I put into them. So we'll catch you guys later.